You are not who you say you are. Not to everyone, not in every moment, but in the moments that matter, in the rooms where it would cost you something to be honest, in the relationships where the real version of you has never fully appeared. You present something else, a version that is more agreeable than you actually are, more certain than you actually feel, more fine than you actually are on any given Tuesday. And you have been doing this for so long, with such consistency, with such practiced ease, that the performance has begun to feel like the person. You no longer notice the gap between what you show and what you are. You have closed the distance, not by becoming the performance, but by forgetting what existed before it. Oscar Wilde said, "Most people are other people. Their thoughts are someone else's opinions. Their lives a mimicry, their passions a quotation." Read that slowly. Most people are other people. Their thoughts are someone else's opinions. Their lives a mimicry, their passions a quotation. And I want you to sit with the specific discomfort of asking, how much of what you call your personality was actually chosen by you? How much of what you believe did you arrive at through genuine reflection? And how much was simply absorbed from the environment you grew up in, the people who raised you, the culture that surrounded you, before you were old enough to question any of it? Here is how the lie got built. It started small. The first time you said you were fine when you were not. The first time you agreed with something you did not believe. Because disagreeing felt more dangerous than the quiet dishonesty of going along. The first time you performed an emotion you did not feel, because the room needed you to feel it. And the cost of not performing it was a kind of rejection you were not ready to risk. Small moments, each one completely understandable, each one a rational response to a social environment that rewarded performance and punished honesty. And so you learned the way all intelligent people learn, quickly, efficiently, without needing to be taught twice. You learned which version of you got the warmth, got the acceptance, got the nod of approval from the people whose approval mattered. And you gave them that version, consistently, reliably, without complaint. Carl Jung spent his entire career studying this exact mechanism. He called it the persona, the mask we build for public consumption. And he said something about it that should land with the weight of everything you have been carrying. He said, "The persona is that which in reality one is not, but which oneself as well as others think one is. That which in reality one is not, but which oneself as well as others think one is." You have been performing a character for so long that you began to believe the performance. And the terrifying part is that the people around you believed it too, which means the version of you they know, the version they love, the version they have built their relationship with is not entirely you. And somewhere underneath the performance, the real version has been waiting, growing quieter with each year, more convinced that the world does not have room for what it actually is. Here is what the lie is costing you, and I want you to hear this not as criticism, but as an honest accounting of what is actually happening to you. While you maintain a version of yourself that was built for other people's comfort, it is costing you your relationships, not connection. You have connection, but the relationships you have are relationships with a character. The people who love you love the edited version. They have never been given the unedited one, which means no matter how surrounded you are, there is a loneliness underneath everything. That connection cannot touch because the connection is landing on a surface, not on you. It is costing you your decision-making. Because when you do not know who you actually are, you cannot know what you actually want. And when you cannot know what you actually want, every major decision in your life gets made by the performance, by what the character would do, by what the acceptable version of you is supposed to want, not by the person underneath who has different preferences, different ambitions, a different vision of what a good life looks like, that has never been given permission to speak. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment." And I want to be direct about what that means for you specifically. You are living inside a world that has been trying to make you something else since the first moment you understood that being something else was safer than being you. And it worked. You became something else with remarkable success. And now you are standing inside that success, wondering why it feels hollow. It feels hollow because the person it was built for is not the person living inside it. So how do you come back? Not therapy necessarily, not a personality overhaul, not a dramatic announcement to everyone in your life that you have been lying and you are starting over. Something quieter and harder and more private than any of that. You start telling the truth in one room, not every room, not all at once. One room, one relationship, one conversation where the real answer is available, and you give it instead of the rehearsed one. Not to be provocative, not to be difficult, not to finally make people understand how complicated you actually are. Just to practice being the person you are in the presence of another person and see what happens. Because here is what I know about the people who have been performing for years. They are terrified that the real version will not be enough. That if they showed what was actually there, the people around them would find it lacking, too much, or not enough, or simply different from what they signed up for. And that terror has been the engine of the performance. But Brené Brown, who has spent decades researching human connection, found something that should dismantle that terror completely. She found that vulnerability, real vulnerability, not performed vulnerability, not strategic sharing designed to seem authentic, but the actual risk of being seen, is the only pathway to genuine connection. Not one of the pathways, the only one, which means the connection you have been building behind the performance is structurally incapable of giving you what you actually need, because genuine connection requires a genuine person, and you have been sending a representative. Friedrich Nietzsche said, "Become who you are." 3 words, the most demanding instruction ever given, because becoming who you are requires first admitting what you have become instead. You have been lying about who you are for so long that the truth feels like a stranger, but it is not a stranger. It is the person who was there before the first performance, before the first moment you decided. That being yourself was a risk you could not afford. That person is still there, quieter than they used to be, more patient than they deserve to have to be, waiting not for you to become someone new, but for you to remember who you already were before the world convinced you to be someone easier to love. If this is the kind of honest conversation you have been looking for, I make one of these every week. You know where to find me.